y'all. Hey, it's that time of year again. Well, it's that time of year again for a couple of things. One, Atlanta Frocktails is coming up early May, as well as the Met Gala is coming up early May, and the theme is Black Dandyism, which I am all here for. We love a well-dressed Black man, okay? And woman, because women can be dandies too. So I'm super excited about both of the themes because the Atlanta Frocktails theme is actually Alice in Atlantaland. So taking sort of themes from Alice in Wonderland and applying them to like the themes in the art culture that we have here in Atlanta. So I'm super excited. So early on when this theme was announced last year, I quickly decided that I wanted to draw my inspiration from the White Rabbit, which is the rabbit with the timepiece. He's always walking around with his pocket watch. And so I was really drawn to like the red carpet looks that Tom Brown was doing, kind of taking like deconstructed suit elements and making gowns and these like beautiful jackets and just really bringing the drama with that kind of suit flair, which tied right in perfectly with Black Dandies. And so we're doing all that here in one. So I wanted to kind of walk you through like how I find inspiration for my Atlanta Frocktails look. I want to start there first because to me, the Black dandyism piece is so ingrained in kind of like what I like to wear, like the tailored garments that I like to create. And it's just really embedded in like the culture, like the things that I'm just naturally drawn to. But Atlanta Frocktails, to kind of pull in that Atlanta culture piece, takes a little bit more work and thought. So I wanted to take you through kind of my process of like start to finish. Where do I go to draw inspiration? How do I narrow down things? Looking at the sketches and then full circle actually completing the look. And even maybe if there's some ups and downs or some twists and turns as we go through the creation process. So this first video, consider this part one. We're just looking at how we get from I want to do the White Rabbit to here's the look I'm aspiring to create. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and let's get into it. All right, so let's get into it. Here's how I come up with my idea. Again, I'm going with the White Rabbit, so I'm going to start with Pinterest. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at my Atlanta Frocktails board that I had already kind of started creating, I guess, from last year, but now it's kind of like time to actually execute. So nothing much there. So I do have a suiting board. I know I want to do a suit because the White Rabbit wears suits. So I really like this one. The three-piece suit situation is very on brand for me and for the White Rabbit. Let's see what else we have here as I'm scrolling. I love the plaid there. I love the trim on that one. I love the funky suits, but I don't want to be too loud, even though Atlanta is all about being flashy. But I think I might want to be flashy in a different way. So nothing there stands out and says like this is absolutely the look. So let's do some like random searches. Let's start with Alice in Wonderland aesthetic to see if that's even like a thing. Now that's a cool picture. I like how they kind of took Alice and made her big in a small space. I think that's really cool. Actually, I had thought about doing quite the opposite, where it's like I'm wearing really micro clothes to kind of pull in the theme of like when she got really small. So I like that makeup look, kind of cute. Don't know if I'll actually use it, but let's save it anyways. Look at the clocks, okay, on theme. Again, another big person in a small space. Love that. It's getting a little costumey. Oh, a clock. We like that. We like that. All right, so let's do another search. Let's be more specific and look at like the White Rabbit to kind of see what people have pinned under that keyword search. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of pictures of the rabbit, but we'll see. Okay, I like that makeup. That's really neat. I like the ears. That's a thought. Let's see what else we got here. I like that makeup too. I think I'll pin that one. Perfect. Yeah. I like the red around her eyes. Kind of brings in the look of the red rabbit, but it's very like high fashion. I like that. Okay, so here we see him in his waistcoat and a long coat to go over it. I'm really digging the potential of a three-piece situation, and of course, I definitely want to bring in the pocket watch for sure. More of the same. You see, he has those like red eyes that I like. Yeah. Okay. Think we've seen enough here. Let's do one more search. Let's look at just like suiting on the red carpet because I do like to be a little extra. So let's see what the more like high fashion suits look like. Okay, I like the stripes. That's really fun. It's giving me Alice in Wonderland vibes. I don't know. Just because it's like a little kooky. Zendaya always looks good. She looks really good. And I like the double breasted suits, especially when they like contour to the body. Okay, Janelle Monáe is giving me what I need with this jacket that kind of like hits the floor with this oversized peplum. I really like that. And I also really like the red color. That's cute. I like this. Again, a three-piece suit. I like the pinstripes in that. That's really nice. Up there's Janelle again. She is the aesthetic, I guess, for the suiting on red carpet. I like this belt feature, and that kind of gives me an idea of like maybe doing a belt with like clocks hanging on it. I don't know. Stay tuned, but I do think that's cute and has like some potential. So we'll definitely save that and pin it to our board. Don't you hate when you click on something and it gives you like an ad? That's like most annoying. So still going through the boards. I like this. I love the jacket with the tails. I love the black and white. It's very nice. Very European looking. I'm here for it. Here's just some more of the same silhouette with the little jackets. I like that pink. That's pretty cute. All right, so maybe we've seen enough here. Back to my board with the suits. Let's review our board here. So lots of red. We got the makeup looks. I do like that. That's very fun. If I could find the fabric, I would be all over that for sure. I really like the hip gores on this dress and how they took like a tuxedo and made a dress. That's really cool. I definitely thought about doing a dress earlier on, but I'm leaning toward the suiting now. I like the drama of the long coats for sure. I like the waistcoat because of course the rabbit wore a waistcoat. Yeah, so let's move along. So the next thing I'm gonna do is kind of sit down and make a list of all the attributes of things that I know I want to see in this look after doing somewhat of a search through Pinterest to get some ideas. So that's what you see me doing here. Some things that I know I want. I know I'm looking for like a sexy vibe. I know that I want a three-piece suit. I really was feeling like the pinstripes and actually have some pinstripe fabric that was donated to me. I know that I'm thinking that I want curly hair. I really like the red makeup. I know I want my jacket long. Yeah, we know it's gonna be a bunny. Yeah, so let's get into the sketching part. That's a little bit more exciting. So here I am kind of sketching out my idea of like what I might look like on that day. It probably won't be exact. I'm sure I'll evolve a bit more over time, but here's that process. major look. It's not time for that yet. So I hope you enjoy sort of going through my creative process from like I have an idea to here's what I actually want to do the sketch, and then finally we'll start to get into picking our patterns and what alterations or modifications we want to make, and then finally sewing. So if you're interested in learning how my journey continues on if I were invited to the Met Gala / what am I wearing to Atlanta Frocktails, stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time. But wait, fit check. If you want to know the deets on this me made look, check the description box. Peace. For real.